Today we're doing our second annual Good Medicine Confluence Roundtable, and we're joined by many herbalists, along with Jesse Wolf Hardin, one of the co-organizers of the event. Welcome to the show, Jesse.
Thank you so much. What a pleasure.
So this is the second annual roundtable that we're doing here, but what number of the Good Medicine Confluence is this?
14th annual.
Wow, it's quite the feat. What are you looking forward to about the event?
Uh, well, every year I say it's needs to be better than the last, and every year I'm more and more impressed with the teachers that come. I mean, the original teachers from Seven Song to Paul Bergner, Matthew Wood. It's amazing, and yet the new voices that are coming up are even more emboldening. We're at a time in this world right now where healing isn't just a matter of fixing our bodily wounds; it's our emotional wounds, the wounds in this divided culture, the wounds between us and the earth, and the people that are being attracted to the center of this confluence are people who make that not just their work, the way of making a living, but make it their heartful mission.
Would you say there's a theme this year, or any sort of themes that you're seeing with the teachers or the classes being taught?
Well, every year there's a balance between science and spirituality, feeling, intuition. Um, every year there's a balance between clinical usable tools, materia medica, how to make specific medicines, but also how to embrace your connection to the plant, human nature relationship, how to build community, how to start a business. But each time I've noticed, and this year in particular, there seems to be a magnetism towards is being called an alchemical approach, which is to say people like Phoenix Aurelius, Kenneth Profrock, Logan Custer. There's been so many, Warren Kistenbroker. And what they're bringing to it is this sense of change, that we are the instruments of change, and the plants are one of the allies that we work with in order to change how people feel, how well they're doing, how this world of ours is doing. And so I would say this is the year of alchemy.
I love that. You mentioned a few teachers right there. How many teachers do you have at the event this year total?
40 teachers at the moment.
You
We're
do
trying.
nothing on a small scale, Wolf.
Well, it's it's 5 classes per slot, and so each person picks out what is the most useful and meaningful to you in the moment. And of course, there's not too much overlap in terms of topics in those slots. I worked really hard so that you don't feel too awfully torn. But yes, there's 5 that you would benefit from, 5 incredible classes, and then each person picks the one that's most moving to them and most instrumental for them in the moment. And so 40 teachers teach these classes, which are 1.5 hours, 2 hours, and some are even 2.5 hours long. So we're talking in depth, not just presentations, because I guarantee you there's no PowerPoint allowed at the confluence. What you have is people erupting ideas that are outside of their script, that are sharing with the people on a one-on-one level that's not just mentor and student, but it's rather human to human. And they're having things revealed to them at the same time that they're revealing things to their attendees. And that's just an especially magical environment. And that's one of the things that it says in the application for teachers is, please give us proposals that are unlike anything else you've done, the ones that keep you awake at night, the ones that you dream about, the ones that you feel most moved by personally. So I wanted to reflect their experiences, their newest ideas, as well as the latest scientific research or whatever. But I wanted to come to the milieu of that person's connection to their inspiration.
I was going to ask you about that. That's one of the things I love about the Confluence is just all of the incredible ideas that are being brought forth in these classes. And we just kind of did these interviews. We're recording this intro after the fact, and just listening to all of the amazing classes that are going to be taught. I'm just like, oh, mind blown, mind blown, mind blown over and over again. So yeah, the attendee is definitely in for a treat. Well, let's talk about some just basic event details. What's the venue, the location, the date, and all that jazz?
This year's Good Medicine Confluence will take place in Durango, Colorado, which is in the San Juan Mountains, some of the wildest mountains left in the Rocky Mountains. And it's high above the little town, the tiny little mountain town of Durango, mostly outdoor oriented, herb loving people in a state that's made all kinds of herb legal, I should point out.
Yeah.
And then high above that little town, you wind up on this road and you get up to it almost like a plateau, and it's almost like a Hogwarts feeling. It's this itty bitty school of Fort Lewis that's all landscaped in native, plants and trees that is a reflection of the mountains in the area. And everybody that comes there has a somewhat of a nature and culture agenda. And so they have hardly any students in the summer, so we basically take over the entire event. We're surrounded by the peaks of Colorado, just outside of the Native American reservations of the Navajo and the Hopi. And we are in a place that's full of spirit and magic. I can't even imagine putting it in another place. This year will be from the 10th of July through the 13th of July, with a bonus day on Sunday, the 14th, nice, for plant walks and in-depth plant experiences. But it's important to note that while we greatly support bioregional gatherings, this is not one. There's only a small portion that are from the West or from the Rocky Mountain West that are teaching there, at the most a fifth of them. The rest are coming from all over the world. Literally, we have teachers coming from outside the United States and from vast amount of the states themselves. So they're doing what they have to come thousands of miles sometimes in order to participate in an event that's a community that ties together all these different people who only see themselves once a year, and ties them together, teaching each other, sharing, and becoming lifelong friends. So it's really an event for those people who feel drawn to the magic of making your herbalism not just your business, but your fairy tale, making it your life. And the people that I care most about, they're not only excellent thinkers, excellent clinicians, excellent medicine makers, but they're the people who walk around on their knees like children looking at a new plant they've never seen before, who are so moved by the mission of herbalism that they would do it for nothing if they had to. Those are the people that I want to help gift to the world. And the Medicine Confluence, why we don't call it a conference, Mason, is because it doesn't qualify. There are none of the rules of a conference. We don't separate teachers from the people that are coming. We don't have them all, just behaving and acting in a certain way. What we have is a rewilding of education. And therefore, it's a confluence of all these different ways. The country redneck homesteader, the homeschooler, the progressive from the Northwest, the radical activist from Florida, all of these people coming together in what is like a confluence where the streams come to make one vast river. That vast river is the Good Medicine, the river of good medicine. And each and every person who comes, not just our totally amazing teachers that I'm so humbled to present, but every attendee is an element and an ingredient in that special tonic and that special magic.
I never thought to ask you what the title Good Medicine Confluence, and I just love the picture you painted there. And absolutely, yeah, it's a very interactive event. And yeah, after interviewing a lot of the teachers for this event, yeah, a lot of their classes do seem to be hands-on. Kyle teaching his aromatics class, you could picture all of them in there making incense together and all that. And Amanda Crook's herbal smoking blends, you could just picture everyone around, creating these beautiful blends, smoking together.
Third of the classes are hands-on.
Yeah.
You actually they're not just demonstrating, but you're helping them create medicine, helping them make the food, helping them create the smoking blends. And so it's all about making this a life, not just thinking, oh, I need information, but our life is something we do. It's something we give. It's something that we grow. They don't call it herbal practice for no reason at all.
Right.
It's practice that we all need to do, and we need to do it together.
Absolutely. Are you going to be teaching? Sorry, go ahead, Wolf.
Or a piss poor conference, don't get me wrong, but one hell of a life-changing party.
Amen. Are you going to be teaching any classes, or more kind of like the MC and everything?
I'll be giving a talk, as I always do every year, and I'll also be teaching one class, and it will be on misfits and the edge. The edge being the hedge itself, the sacred hedge, that demarcates the civilized from the wild, the possible from the unknown, uh, the physical from the so-called spiritual, but also about being a misfit and the ways in which we can take our differences and have it be mechanisms for bringing us all together. You know, that, okay, you don't fit in, you're not a normie, you don't just go to a normal doctor, you use plants, your mother thinks you're crazy. You're not going to make as much money at this as you would have doing some things you could have studied for, but you love it. It's your specialty, it's your life, and you'll give everything to it.
Awesome. Well, where can folks go to register for the event?
Go to our website first and foremost, planthealer.org, and go to the event pages. There's a one page just about registration, gives all the details. Super cheap lodging this year. Last year was a little expensive for folks, especially when we're attracting so many alternative on the edge folks who don't have that kind of money. $19 per bed at its cheapest from the dorms.
Oh, wow.
And so it's really, we've done everything possible in order to make this affordable for everybody. If they don't have the money, they can apply for work trade. They can offer us barter. They can do whatever it takes to get there, and we will do whatever it takes so that they can make it happen.
So that's July 10th to the 13th, with the bonus day being the 14th. Did I get that right?
Correct.
Yeah, and even just that alone, that is very lengthy for an herbal conference. You're really going to build family and friends by the end of it. And like I always say, Plant Healer does nothing small on a small scale. I definitely want to point the listener and viewer in the direction of signing up for Herbaria, your monthly newsletter. Those are all like 90 pages long every single month. So y'all do a great job with that as well.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, very good. That's planthealer.org to register. Now let's get into some of these interviews.